that meditation that Ellie walked us through was to go within and we brought back our most important quality and value. And then we were asked to turn to somebody next to them and to us and share that. And folks, that is the foundation of creating a world that works for all. And knowing and creating and inspiring and empowering, what kind of world do we want? And today we get this wonderful treat of being able to see into the world of what we call teen camp. And I'll tell you, after the many years of being a teen advisor at teen camp, that's the kind of world I want. All the time, filled with so much love and acceptance. There's no judgment whatsoever. There's tons of hugs. Everyone is empowered to be themselves and to shine their light in all of the unique, wonderful ways that they do it. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Sign me up, right? Yes, amen to that. So I want to share with you that at the beginning of winter camp, our very first workshop, we set intentions. We set our intentions for the rest of the camp. And my intention for this camp was to be open to all of the magic that camp had to offer. And let me tell you, before we left for camp, I sent a practitioner request out to all of our practitioner team, just to know the truth about our travels and about our experience at camp, and to also know the truth about our teen group, which is thriving and it's growing. It's going to double in size this year because we've got tweens moving up into that age, and it's going to increase after doubling in size because we have other teens that have now contacted me that want to be a part of it. And so a big part of my prayer request was also knowing that we were drawing to us good, strong, trained teen advisors that can take this program and take it to the next level. And so I wanted to just share my little piece about camp with you. It was magical. I know I probably say this every year, but it was just the best winter camp ever. Because, I know you laugh, but it's because the synchronicities just kept coming and coming and coming. And folks, just from that winter camp experience, or maybe not just from it, but it was kind of like the cherry on top of the sundae. And from that prayer treatment request that I sent out to the practitioner team, by the way, side note, we have a really powerful practitioner team, y'all. So if you're not using them, I highly recommend you do that. So a lot of demonstrations occurred. We have not one, but two incredibly strong, trained teen advisors that are getting ready to join us. We have a practitioner that's getting ready to join us. We have a trained chaplain that's in her internship that's getting ready to join us. And all of this came like the cherry on top out of teen camp. So I had that little bit to share with you of my personal experience and my intention that was fully followed through in so many ways. And I am so grateful. So I wanted to share that with you, and then now I'm going to introduce this incredible slideshow presentation that Rhiannon did for us that just captures all kinds of pictures and experiences from camp. And as you look at them and take those in, you'll be all prepared to then hear the teams present their experience to you. So let's everybody just sit back and enjoy. Yes, they are. I don't know about cute, but. Yay! That was beautiful. That was wonderful. So I also wanted to announce the other thing that was just continuing with the cherry on top. I can't even put it to words sometimes. I'm so passionate about it. Castle Rock teens represented at this winter camp like no other group ever has. It was amazing. And I'll tell you why and how. First off, our region doesn't have right now a camp regional director, an adult camp regional director, where all the other regions do. And because of that, things were that we generally would have known prior to leaving for camp, we didn't know until we got there, which was our camp responsibilities. So our camp responsibilities was mealtime meditation. And the very first thing that the teens do Friday night is eat. So the very first presentation to take place at the whole camp was our teens getting up and opening with prayer treatment and a mealtime meditation, and they were amazing. Without any prior, yes, without any prior preparation. They got up there, they took lead, they took charge, and they were amazing. And before every meal after that, they just did an outstanding job, and I'm so proud of them. So incredibly proud of them. Another thing that occurred is out of the five regions that we have, and all over the world for CSL teens, 4 teens in each region were to be selected to be a part of a video production that was a promotional video that's being done professionally to promote the teen group and teen camps all over the world. And so on our Friday night advisor meeting, we had to nominate teens and then select teens to be a part of that video in each region. I nominated 2 teens from Castle Rock, Nico and Little Mo. And out of all the teens that were nominated, our 2 were selected to be a part of that video promotion. So I'm so proud of them. And then, of course, at the very end, Rhiannon, for her 3rd year in a row, ran for Winter Camp Director, and she won. So she is the Rocky Mountain 2017 Winter Camp Director out of the whole region. So I am just incredibly proud, so incredibly proud, and love each one of these teams like you wouldn't believe. They are amazing. What kind of world do I want? I want the world with them in it, where they're leading. So take it away.
I can never stand behind there. I'm too short. Okay, so winter camp this year went by a little too fast for me. I don't think I had enough time with my family, with my friends, with the squad. It's just like it was fun. But it was amazing what can happen in those 4 days. I reconnected with a lot of old friends and made some new ones, and the connections you make with the people at camp are like none other. Like Julie said, people are themselves, and that's amazing because I don't know if everybody can be themselves everywhere else in the world. But other than that, there's no judgment. No wonder there's nobody wearing masks or whatever, because nobody's gonna judge. And that's always just like the nicest thing ever, because I mean, being yourself, there's something amazing to that. Being who you want to be is what you should get to do in everyday life. I lost myself. Not only do you get to know the people around you, but you get to know yourself a little bit better. I love getting to know myself better because I'm still a teen and I still don't know who I am or what I want to be, or, that's okay. I'm still learning, right? That's what teenaging is, right? Yeah, pretty sure. um, I it's hard to figure out who you want to be, but teen camp that's why it's there. I'm pretty sure, because that has probably been the best tool for me to figure out who I want to be and who I truly am inside. Like, I know this is kind of going back, but Julie's speech at summer camp, step into the fire because it will not burn you. It will simply burn away what you are not, leaving your true self. I still think about that every day because that is what I really want. I want to see my true divine self being shown throughout the world. And our wonderful teens, because can I just tell you how amazing they are? They're really wonderful people. Like, seriously. My workshop that I got to talk about was helping me figure out who I want to be in the real world. Scratch that. Outside of camp. We're not supposed to call it the real world because camp is the real world, right? The purpose of this workshop was to help us understand our core values and to bring them into the forefront as we move forward in our lives. We must learn to believe. I didn't write it all down. Hold on. We must learn to believe the approach should be direct and should be specific. Back. You would never know what you're supposed to do. Can I just say that right now? You may have an outline, but it's really all up to you. I've been doing a lot in my life, and that is like, I am just always busy. But dealing with it is the hardest part. At the beginning of service, you all did a meditation, and you were supposed to come up with a word or something that helped you figure out your qualities, per se. I heard a lot of love. Anybody else want to answer love? Yeah? 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 See, a lot of love. That was very true at camp, too. And I feel like here and at camp, that's what we have a lot of, is love. I had love, but then I also had compassion, kindness. I had all these words were coming up because my brain was going 10,000 miles an hour. That always does. I couldn't pick one word, so I figured maybe I should just choose a word that incorporates all of them. I couldn't come up with one. If you figure out one, I'd love to know it, but I can't figure out one. I decided to go with loyalty, though. I don't know why. It was just like, yeah, that seems like a good word. I think it was just being called to me. Loyalty. We were supposed to... You were supposed to say to the other person when you grouped up what that word meant to you. Loyalty to me meant love, compassion. I'll go back. I'm sorry, I have to go back and forth. Love, compassion, kindness, dignity, respect. It meant all those things wrapped into one because, if you're loyal to somebody, you must love them. You must respect them. You must be compassionate for them. That was why I chose it. And then everybody I went to, I found how their word kind of incorporated my word, and then my word kind of incorporated into their life. That was the coolest thing because let me just tell you, like, finding support for yourself is really nice, but finding other people to help you with that support, that's what camp's about. That's why we have these wonderful friends and these wonderful teens and these wonderful advisors. Yes, we love you so much. They're so wonderful. That's why we have you here, because it's really hard being a teen. It really is. I'm not even gonna, I don't know what I'm doing. But oh my gosh, I figured out what I wanted. I figured out all the qualities that I wanted in my life, and I am putting them into my life now. I am just like, yes, I am going to be kind. Every morning I wake up and I'm just thinking, yes, I'm going to be kind today. I'm going to be compassionate. I'm going to have respect. And oh my gosh, it gets returned. It's like karma. It's so wonderful. It's so great. I have loved camp, but this was definitely my favorite workshop because it 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 came home with me. And that's what I want camp to do every single time because it's just so wonderful. That's all I have for today.
So the first workshop that we did was called LinkedIn, and so we thought up our affirmations for camp. We thought up our affirmations for camp, and then we were given a paperclip color that was just a normal paperclip. And so we gave it our affirmation, and then we gave one of our paperclip to each family member and carried it around for camp. And so I guess it was basically a way to spread our affirmations around the camp and spread the camp love, which was really cool. And then throughout camp, people would lose paper clips, so then I started picking them up so that they would still be spread. And so then one of the other workshops that we did that was lots of fun was the Knock Your Socks On workshop, which was where we got these bottles of dye, and they were each different colors, and then we assigned a word to each color, and we dyed these socks. And so it was really cool because no sock was exactly the same, and so they were all different and unique. And then we donated them to homeless teens, and we put affirmations on little cards that we stuck in the socks. And so the last night of camp, we did like an A's and B's thing, except it was like in a circle, and we would hug them and whisper stuff to them. And so it was really cool and really moving, especially for me because, so we had our eyes closed, so I don't know exactly who, and I don't remember the exact words, but one person said that they really liked a couple of qualities I had, and they wanted to be like me in that way. And I had never really thought of that or thought anybody would want that, and so I found that really cool and empowering. Yeah.
So this beautiful being of light here, he actually wasn't planning to be here this morning because he got elected to be leader of a particular group that he needed to lead today, and then it got canceled.
Yeah,
so he's here with us as a wonderful surprise addition, and that's why you won't find him in your bulletin. But please help me welcome Nico Puentes.
Okay, so I'm basically going to talk to you guys about how camp has affected me since. Well, my intention was to let my family know that we will get this house. And you know what? I've been on this earth for 14 years, and I've been through a lot. I know this works. But
Yes.
the thing is, it's just this weekend. We got this. They went off to a house on Friday night, and we found the perfect house off of Dad Clark. And the thing is, this stuff works. I know it for a fact. But with teen camp involved with this, my life would be a whole lot different if I didn't have teen camp. I think I would have still been stuck in a shell, but yeah. Well, I'm just a little bit rambling right now, but so yeah.
Okay, so camp for me is such a great growing experience, and throughout the 5 camps I've been to, I mean, like Julie said, each camp ends up being my favorite camp, but it's because you learn from past experiences, and the leadership teams that come and make the camps, or the directors that come and make the camps, they take their past experiences and they put in the new experiences that they want to put into camp. So it really does. It becomes a greater addition of what it used to be, and it just keeps getting better and better. And with new people constantly coming in every year, it makes it very personal, and it makes it very diverse of like what you're gonna get every year. And so that's what makes camp my favorite, is that it is constantly changing, but it makes it constantly better. And so camp this year, first off, I want to say that camp this year, every year when we take pictures, there's usually, I'm closing my eyes, or my makeup's off, or my hair looks funny in a picture, but this was the year of good pictures for me, and I am blessed. Like, that is something to celebrate. Very good camp. I mean, honestly. And so with this camp, not only was I running for leadership again, because my first year going to camp, I didn't even know what running for a co-director was, and I decided to do it anyways. And then I lost my first year and my second year, and once at summer camp. But losing those 3 times, it's not even losing. It wasn't my turn to be in leadership. But I was never discouraged from running. And I know over the summer camp, I was going to run, and then I did back out the day before running, because I wasn't ready to run. And I knew that something inside of me, between school and theater and trying to get a job, it wasn't gonna be my turn at summer camp to be for running for leadership. And then this year when I did run and finally got elected, I mean, it took 3 years, but it has really come to me that maybe it was because I was running for a leadership position, either being part of a team or being a co-director. I think maybe it was just my turn to be a director and be able to make it not only my own, because other people's opinions and thoughts get brought in. It's not just me running everything, but it's very centered. It's not centered around me. Let's not say that. It's just my opportunity to really make it something, because I've been trying to put my energy and my love and my thoughts, my ideas and creativity into everything. And I think it was really just my turn to be here and not only do it on my own, and I think it could be a little bit scary because this year there was only a director instead of a co-director because we had less than 50 teens at camp. We only had 28 teens, still fabulous. But if it were to double, then I'm running like 56 teens by myself, and that could be a scary thought, but you know, that could be fun. And so there was this special, it's kind of like A's and B's, but we do these nurturing exercises, which thanks to Reverend Julie and Dr. Bob that made the very special nurturing exercise, came together with them, and we did it on the very last night. And so we kind of split up like we have done with A's and B's, but there was a smaller group on the inside and then a larger group on the, I guess it was the same amount, it just seemed larger on the outside. And then you go and you start off with a partner, and then you hug them, you can tell them words, or you can just give them love physically, and you don't have to talk to them. But this is a time to make it a very personal experience, and you're allowed to talk to people. And then sometimes you can recognize voices, and sometimes you're like, oh my God, I have no idea who's talking to me, and they just said the nicest thing. I need to open my eyes. But you know, you gotta keep your eyes closed. You just gotta accept that someone is telling you the most beautiful thing. But there was one thing that I just totally remember. I know who it was. The Reverend Keith Cox, you know. He is the man, the myth, the legend, Keith Cox. And I remember him just giving me the biggest bear hug, because he's like, Papa Keith. And he was giving me this hug, and he's like, I'll keep it PG-13 for you guys. But he's like, I effing love your persistence in running for leadership. Something that it really kind of hit me, because when you think of persistence, you kind of think like, oh my God, this is getting really annoying, please stop. But when he said it like that, it's like, yeah, I'm persistent. I needed that. It's something that I knew I was determined to do, and it was something I was determined to get. It just took a while to get there, and it really showed that I wasn't meant to stop, or I couldn't get discouraged from doing this, because it was going to be the best for me. Now going into some workshops that we did, Mo did cover the Yours, Mine, and Ours workshop that we did, and we were finding our values and what that value meant to us, and then we were sharing it to other people, and when we shared it to them, not only did they share what important value they said or what they thought of, we also had to think of a way that their value and we could incorporate it into our life. So if it was trust, be like, yeah, I could use some trust in my life. How am I going to make that a big value to me? And so then you're walking around with like 8 to 10 stickers on you, and it's got all these values, but it's values that you have your own on you, and then you have everyone else's that is being brought into your life, which is kind of like something that we did at summer camp that I kind of explained. But we wrote down qualities that we saw in someone else, and they wrote down qualities that they saw in us. And not like it's kind of repeating itself, but it's nice to have that repetition of people constantly telling you what's inside of you is what's inside of me, because it's kind of like seeing the perfection in you is also what perfection is inside of me. And that's really reassuring to me, and it really helps me realize, yeah, I do have that quality. It might not be one that I put on the top of my list and be like, yeah, I got a lot of love in me. I'll be like, oh yeah, I do see that inside myself. And not only is it in you, it's in me, and that makes us connected in some weird, beautiful way. And then we did this other workshop that kind of ties into this, because they went one after another. And it's called Soul Washers. And what we did is we took mirrors, and we were looking at ourselves in the mirror, and I struggled with this a little bit. You had to tell yourself something, whether it was beautiful about yourself, something that you loved about yourself, or again, another quality that you see in yourself. And you had to look yourself in the eyes in the mirror and tell yourself what that quality was. And I struggled with it the first couple of times, because I would think of that quality, and then I'd look in the mirror, and then when I go to say it, I would look away. And I don't know why I kept doing this, because I was like, I talk to myself enough, why can't I just look in the mirror and do it? It's nothing new. And so finally I got around to being like, you know what, I need to look myself in the eyes, this is serious. And so then I start looking myself in the eye, and then I am really focusing that that is a true quality, and it's affirming it to myself. And then after saying it 2 or 3 times, you go to say it, and then you drop your mirror and say it in front of the person in front of you. And they're saying what they love about themselves or what quality they have to you. And again, it's like saying a quality that you love about that person is also inside of you, because it's like you guys are talking between a mirror. And I thought it was great, because it was interesting, because I partnered up with people I either didn't know at all or people I didn't know well, and it's so fascinating that you can connect with people and you can affirm these things and love each other through just a simple affirmation that you would say to yourself. And it was so easy saying it to someone else, but I struggled personally just trying to say it to myself, So I encourage you guys, if you have a little mirror or if you want to go in your front-facing camera, I mean, don't take pictures of yourself. But this is an affirmation. Either say it in a mirror, say it into something. Just look yourself in the eyes and affirm something that you love about yourself. It is difficult the first couple of times, but I really do encourage it because then you're really putting that positive affirmation into yourself. And it was so powerful to me. And not only was these workshops powerful, but the connections you make with everyone makes it that much more powerful. And I was able to meet a whole new group of people, and then we called ourselves Squad. And I mean, being the oldest teen in that group, because I think everyone was like 14, 15 in that group, I feel like I was kind of like the older sibling to all of them. But it was so much fun seeing how much energy these younger teens have and how much they're going to bring into more camps. And I see so much in all of them, including these three that I love so much. And I'm so glad to make the connections that I do at camp. And then going back to leadership, because next winter camp will be my last camp as a teen, or at least my last winter camp as a teen. And I feel like I'm very lucky to be able to run my own camp as my last camp. But I'm also very excited to leave camp with a great experience and leave it with them. And I'm not trying to end on a sad note, because I still have 3 more camps that I'm able to go to as a teen. But I'm just very glad that I have been able to have this experience with a great youth advisor and great people that help me grow and great people that I've seen growing. Thank you.
So I'm going to invite all 4 of you up on the stage so you can get your applause and recognition that you so deserve.